All
We're
right, we're
live.
live again in Doomsday's Krypt, along with my good pal, SPFX legend of many films, Nick Benson. How you doing? I know you hate when I do
Legend.
that to you, so I
Legend.
think well, yeah, well, I know it bothers you when I do that, but you're a legend to me. Uh,
Well, I
and I
appreciate
know
that.
you hate it. It's like I'm just a guy. Yeah,
Just a
you've been
guy
in
with a job.
sitting down with this guy with the beanie on and stuck talking to him for a little bit. How you doing, Nick? It's good to see you.
I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm a little tired today. I was up really early this morning, about 4 o'clock. So
Yeah, I know you have a busy
been a
weekend, so I
long day.
appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on tonight. And I know you'd feel a little alone without this guy, so I brought him. I brought him. He's sitting over here in the background for you. But welcome, man. It's good to see you, dude. I mean, it was great seeing you at Scarefest again. Been a
Yeah, that was
while.
fun. That was definitely
Yeah,
fun.
that was a great event, man. I had a good
It
time
really,
there.
really was fun. I would have liked to have tried to hang out at the live, the Knoxville Live or whatever that is over there across the street where they were doing all the screenings and stuff. I would have liked to have hung out there more, but just
I hear
wasn't
you. We tried to go
wasn't.
on Saturday night,
Mhm.
and I think when you were supposed to go, and I should have just been like, I didn't think about it. It was such a long damn shit. Where are you going to eat? We should have just caught up and had something to eat. It was okay, but I'm not a night like it was a club type setting. I mean, it was okay, but it's just not my thing anymore.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
gray whiskers. It used to always be my thing,
I
and now
know,
I've
right?
just I was like, I'm ready for bed.
That's kind of how it is here. And, I live in Vegas and people visit and they're like, "Oh, do you want to go out?" No, I don't.
Not at all.
No, not really.
Blame it on the U-Haul. Oh well, always blame it on the U-Haul.
Name
I'll
it
blame
on
it
the
on the.
U-Haul. Well, part of that was a U-Haul because we actually tried to park that damn thing and it was just too far to park and get me in the Lex Live facility. So
Well, I guess we had something in common. I had a problem with U-Haul to start my trip. Luckily, it turned out to be fantastic, but an hour and a half it takes to run a credit card while they're trying to tell me it's a prepaid card. It's like it is not a prepaid card. Well, let's welcome everybody to the stream. DJ Steve Merlo. I'm
awesome.
guessing this is your buddy who was sitting with you. Because Facebook user, you can go to StreamYard. There should be a link, and you click it, and I can see who you are, Facebook user. You're welcome aboard. Michael Toth, the incredible artist that you see all
Yeah,
these
Michael.
cutouts. Yeah, he's killing it. Or the big Doomsday Demon behind us. All these things, all these crazy cutouts, and got the Lonnie
And there's
McCullum, as you
Thomas.
know.
Yep. There's a good old Thomas there too.
Thomas Bruce, yeah, those
Yeah.
guys are killing it with some amazing stuff, working together with them on all these awesome Doomsday's Krypt projects that help make the tables really pop. Welcome, guys. So, Nick, how are you doing, man? How was your trip home? I
It
know that's
was
always an adventure.
yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. I mean, it's a long trip home if anything, because now it seems like they cancel so many flights now you can't get a direct flight. So I had like a 3.5 hour layover, or I think in Chicago or something. That was interesting. I mean, I wish if I was going to wait 3.5 hours in Chicago, I could meet up with friends or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, you'd plan it out a little better, but
Yeah.
hey, congratulations. Just guys, don't ever fly with Mick. Nick, he's always having problems with flights, and I'm glad to hear you didn't. I mean, it seems like every time it's something. I get it though. It was just you were on a roll with flight problems for a
Yeah,
while.
Phantasm was like everything that could go wrong went wrong getting to Phantasm. That was really messed up.
Yeah, but you were a trooper. You got there Saturday, luckily, and at least you got to enjoy Saturday. Got to hang out with Mick and
Yeah.
Beatrice there.
Yeah.
We had our own
And you
little
and your
kind of
family.
area. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we had a good time, man. It was
Yeah.
you guys were adopted by my parents, as you know. They love you, all three of you guys, to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time. We tried to catch up before, but you were the one having problems, technical difficulties, or something was going crazy for you on
Yeah,
stream, guys.
I had changed something in this configuration in here, and I couldn't track it down. I tracked it down like after I jumped off the feed, but yeah, we had some weird issues with feedback and shit like that. I think there was a loop somewhere in this mixer that was wrong, or a patch that was wrong or something, but I took care of it.
Well, you're nice and clear tonight. So.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't had a chance to catch up on a live stream. Even at the event, I'd make sure I wanted to visit so many people, but I'm here like, I got to go see Nick and Mick each time that I went down. I always sidetracked, and got to come visit my dudes. It's always good seeing you guys. And we never know when we're going to get a chance to hang out, hopefully soon again, but
Yeah.
you never know with this crazy world.
Yeah, I've got some stuff scheduled in 23. I'm actually going to Tucson in a couple weeks here. I'm doing a screening of Nightmare 4 there at a theater called the Screening Room.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I seen you announce that. That's super cool, man. I love how I know Beatrice just did the Mahoney drive-in with the showing the movies. So how cool is it to see Nightmare on Elm Street 4 again in the theaters or on a theater screen?
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
super
cool on the big screen. That's for sure.
It's the only way to watch them. I think they just need to start playing They need an 80s horror cinema that just constantly plays different horror, 80s horror all the time.
Yeah.
I know you're down for that. And you got some. You had. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know you got a new project. Well, it was a project before, but it's kind of coming back to life again.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I got a phone call from TJ Bowser of the Project Louder Network, and he's a friend of mine. He's done podcasts with Mick and me, and he did Rabbit Hole. I don't know if you ever listened to the Rabbit Hole one that Mick did. Those guys did that one together. They had me on, and then TJ had me on some other ones as well of theirs. Like I've been a guest on their different podcasts of theirs before. And TJ and I kind of struck up a conversation a while ago about just different things. And he reached out to me the other day, knowing that I had been kind of trying to put together my own podcast for the last, I think, year and a half, 2 years, maybe. I've been trying to do that, and it's going to be different. It's going to be, we're going to be talking about music, art, everything that drives us to the dark side. You know, everything, including films, but, you know, we're going to talk music and everything. And I've got guests. I'm working on pulling live performances in and doing stuff like that, since I have the network to do that. So we're going to do a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, I know music. A lot of people are starting to know that music's a big part of what you're into now. And obviously, you can just tell by your setup that you're ready to mix some sounds together and do what you got to do.
Well, that's not even one of. That's not going to be me performing. It's.
Well, but you got the board. You're ready to mix it up.
Yeah. I've got the board here, and then the live stuff will be where my office is, the studio where my office is. We have an actual sound room there. We have a pretty big sound studio there that I can set up a band in and stream it directly from there. So.
Big plans for 2023 for you, man. I'm rooting for you for sure, man. I'm looking forward to projects.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's just different guests. Like I said, we're gonna talk art. We're gonna have guests that are artists. We're gonna have guests that are, musicians. I've got a pretty good lineup of people started already. I believe TJ and I will be starting to record probably the first episode tomorrow at some point. So,
any idea which platform you want to use? YouTube, Facebook, or
it'll be on all of them. Yeah, it'll be available on all of them.
Awesome,
Project Louder is on all of them, even I think Spotify, and so you can listen to it on pretty much anything.
I'm definitely going to check it out. I know which podcast you're talking about. I think Mick uploaded it. It was about a year ago you were on or something.
You can go to projectlouder.net and see all of the podcasts that they produce. And that it'll also be available there via the website to download and listen to. So
the honor to be quite the honor to be a part of a stream with the incredible Nick Benson. Absolutely. I mean, it's funny though. Me and Nick have become such good friends. It's like I just know the guy. He's just a guy. He's just a guy, like he told me. No, but yeah, it's
That
Nick's always
fucking guy.
fascinating. He's that guy.
That
He's
fucking guy.
that fucking
That
guy.
fucking guy again. Jesus Christ.
No, Nick's a great guy. We got to become real good friends in Phantasm. We got to spend a lot of special times hanging out with, like he said, my family, and getting to know Mick, and seeing him and Mick bond, and Beatrice. It was kind of its own little mini for you guys nightmare kind of reunion, even though you didn't work on part 5, but
Yeah, it was really
closeness.
nice to meet B. I really, really like her a lot. She is such a stellar human being. That it's really nice to finally meet her. And, I've talked to her a little bit online, and that was all through you before Phantasm, and, sort of met her virtually, and meeting her in person and hanging out with her and really getting to know her. She's just such a stellar human. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
she's an actress that Mick will actually say he likes.
Yeah.
That is huge.
That says a lot.
That does say a lot. No, Beatrice is one of the kindest people. If anybody's out ever at an event and Beatrice or Nick's there, or Mick with his dog, his dog always steals the spotlight. You definitely got to come talk to them and hang out with them and hear their stories, as you're hearing some of Nick's now. But yeah, Beatrice, she keeps finding old photos, and it's like, when I was young, it's like she still looks fantastic at 60. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she don't look 60, that's for sure.
No, she's great. It's great having a friend like her and yourself, and yeah, and just running into conventions has been so much fun.
Yeah, the shows have been great. I was really stoked for you at Scarefest. I know you were running and gunning because you had so many people coming to your booth, but man, that was such a great show. It really was.
Yeah, Brandon.
Really
I asked him to come on the show in the near future. I'd love to talk to him more. They were I mean, all the shows are always great. I've had a great time at Krypticon with Chaz DeMoss. Prayers out to him. I know his father's feeling he's visiting his dad in the Casey area, so I give a shout out to him. Deej with Spookala, Phantasm, Anthony Greco, and Roy, and the whole team, Michelle, and they're always great. And but Scarefest was a nice way to end the year. I mean, that place was rocking. It was cool meeting
really
Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick was, I never thought I'd meet T1000, so that was exciting for me. Because other than horror, Terminator.
I didn't get a chance to get over and meet him either, but I've heard he's a pretty cool dude.
Well, Brett's going to be on tomorrow.
Get to meet. Oh, really? Brett's
and he's friends. He's friends with Robert Patrick, and I lost Robert's address because we had the cutout for him. So Brett's going to be at his shop, and they're really close friends. But it was funny when I walked by Robert Patrick. I go, my buddy Brett told me to say, hey, like, fuck that guy. And he turned around. He's like, nah, he's cool. He's cool. He's a good dude. And then I told him I had the cutout, and I was going to come by his table and visit. And I talked to him for a bit, man. Super cool, down to earth guy. Yeah, you'd like him.
Awesome. Yeah, I also wound up meeting Jason Hawes at Scarefest, and what a cool dude he was. I mean, he was such a nice guy. Really enjoyed meeting him too.
There were so many people I wanted to meet. I was lucky enough to meet Linnea because she was right next to you, but I didn't get a chance to meet a lot of the cast from Part 4, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. I was really bummed out about that. I thought I'd have more time on Sunday, and it just never. That's the hard part.
You met Brian Bremer though, right? You met Brian.
Brian was great. Yeah, he stopped at the table. I talked. Cool. Oh yeah, I like Brian a whole lot. I actually became not best friends with him, but we spoke quite a bit. He came to my table a few times. He really liked the setup. Peter Valderrama is his agent, and Beatrice's agent. And Peter's a great guy.
He represents Mick and I too, but
does he? Okay.
Yeah, we just haven't for whatever reason. I know Peter's been busy booking other clients and whatnot, but
okay, yeah. So yeah. I knew he was a client of his, and me being a huge Pumpkinhead, meeting Lance Henriksen, but which who was super busy, and he was a great guy. But yeah, I spoke with Brian quite a bit, and he's gonna come on the show soon. So that's kind of a small, not a small announcement, but a pretty big announcement that Brian Bremer will come on. I'm looking forward to
Very cool.
chatting with him again. Yeah,
Very
and
cool. Yeah, Brian's good people.
incredibly nice guy, incredibly humble too.
Yeah, it's funny is when I got to I that was the first time I had seen Brian in like 35, 36 years at Scarefest. And
Oh, really?
yeah, when we were coming in, like I had to come in through the back shipping area because they had to wheel me in the wheelchair. And I'm he's rolling me over, and Brian just like, comes over with his arms open, like, give me a hug. And it was really cool. It's cool that after that many years, you still have that effect on somebody that you feel like you're still buddies.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and like I said, I got to meet him there. I couldn't imagine after 30 years, but he's one of those guys who, when I met him too, he's just getting into conventions again, and he's just blown away by
Oh yeah.
conventions and meeting people. He's just having the time of his life, eating that up. But he was so excited about
Yeah,
everything.
I remember being at, I was at Peter's house in Philly when he got Brian to sign with him, and we were talking to a couple society people. I was trying to help Peter get those people, and it was pretty cool because Brian Bremer was like, he hadn't done conventions, and I don't know if he hadn't done them ever, but I know he hadn't done one in a very long time, if at all ever, and wasn't real sure about doing them because he just really didn't understand how many people just adore him.
Yeah, I think that it hits a few people when they first start doing them, because there's some who are like, yeah, this
Well,
convention thing is just kind of.
even me, I didn't believe Peter. I didn't believe the people before that one. Before someone asked me to come be a guest, I'm like, why? Why? Nobody knows who the fuck I am. And I think it was on not a live, sort of a live stream like this, but it was like more of an audio thing. It was like a live podcast. And I remember some fan in like Switzerland or something stayed up till like 4 a.m. just to ask me like 3 questions. And
That's gotta,
I couldn't
yeah.
believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, I think especially since you were behind the scenes, we've had this talk before. You don't realize that there are, well, now I think you see how many like hardcore fans that they'll
Yeah.
go through the actors and actresses, but they're looking at who worked on this and the special effects, who worked
Yeah.
production design, like Mick Strawn, and they're like, oh man, those guys are legends. They've worked on some amazing films. I mean, your list of films is incredible too. Blade, uh, Tremors, Nightmare on Elm
Mhm.
Street 4. Uh, the list goes on and on with what you've worked on, and I don't even think you realize how important it is to fans that of what you've done, because
I
you have been a big
it's
part of all these incredible films.
yeah, it's taken a couple years, but I understand the fans a lot more than I did before, that's for sure. And it humbles me too to be around them because if not for them, I wouldn't be relevant. I wouldn't be doing those shows. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be doing the podcast. I wouldn't be, if it wasn't for fans that I know appreciate what I've done, I wouldn't be doing these things. So I'm very fortunate that way.
You definitely got a strong fan base, and people, and the ones who don't realize, the ones who work behind the scenes back in the day, because it was so much, and like you and Mick even said in one stream, sometimes you guys weren't even listed in the credits
Yeah.
for your hard work. And
Yeah, I worked
I
uncredited on a lot of films. You have to realize that, like in those days, everything was still shot in film and done on optical printers. So to get a credit wasn't such an easy thing. It cost production money to give you one. So they weren't always very giving with putting your name in the credits. They would just put like the main people, and that was it. So yeah, I have
well,
a lot of uncredited stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many different movies. We gotta like focus on one movie like I did with Mick one time and just discuss the whole thing. I think that'd be a lot of fun with you, even if we started off with Tremors, which is everybody loves, and some of the scenes and what you did on these movies, or Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I know the Chest of Souls is a big part of what you're proud of and being a part of that scene. And I
We
know
should
that.
we should watch Tato Tyson. That's a Japanese film that some really
Oh, you
weird shit happens in.
uh, can you translate it for us, or do you just know the
I
special
don't know if I could
effects?
translate it, but it's a cool film. There actually was a US release of it.
I'm definitely down to do a watch party with you on some of the films you've worked on, because
Yeah,
it's always fascinating. I think people get to know because, like you said, a lot of times you're uncredited, but people know you worked on it. To explain the scenes you worked on and what went into it
yeah.
to make it happen, and your hand and bringing it to life, because there's no movie that happens in front of the screen that doesn't happen behind the scenes, that the people that don't get noticed, the
Right.
ones,
And there's a whole lot of people that make that happen, you know.
especially 80s horror. I mean, a lot of the times, and nothing against any of the 80s horror actors, but a lot of it is remembered more for the effects, the special effects of the movie, than it is more the acting. In some of them, not all of them. There's some
Sure.
great actors and actresses through it, but without the special effects and the practical effects that you guys did in the 80s, these movies just wouldn't be what they are. They would just be, they were, and there was so
Yeah.
much evolution of, you can watch it almost grow, like blood, the way blood looked in the 70s and 80s, and the way it grew. You almost watch the whole 80s, from even late 70s, early 70s to 80s, the transition of special effects and the learning process, and watching it become what it is and what it became and what it's growing to become even more. Some of these independent movies are doing some amazing special effects and stuff that
Oh,
are
they
like,
are.
wow,
Absolutely.
wow.
Absolutely.
Like Steve Barton was on last week. I couldn't believe Terrifier 2 only had a $250,000 budget. That's just
Isn't that
insane.
crazy? No,
It's
and it
insane.
hit in 2 weeks. It hit number 2 at the box office. It's
And that
wild.
was on a a limited release too. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good movie. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. I know you've been a busy man, so, but I think you'd appreciate the practical effects that they use in there, because they were all practical effects. And that's like Mick with Vengeance. Vengeance
Yeah.
1 and 2. Those movies are really, really brutal,
Vengeance is
and they're really good.
actually very good. Yeah, Vengeance is very good.
Did you get a chance to see the sequel yet?
No,
Oh, it's good. Definitely take
is
a look
it?
at it. Oh, it's really good. Really good. I know you're friends with Tam Glenn too, right? She's in it for a
I've
short.
met her. I've met her.
Uh,
I know Mick is friends with her.
yeah. Melissa Rose has a
Yeah,
cameo in it. Of course,
Felicia's
David
a
Howard.
sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah. She is just too nice. I heard she was nice, and I met her at Spookala, and then she remembered me again at Scarefest, and talked to her for quite a bit, and yeah, she's one of the nicest people, and that she's never not full of energy.
Yeah.
I got in line, and I forget whose birthday it was, and she just starts doing the clap, and I'm like standing there, I don't know what to do, and she's
Yeah.
just full energy. Yeah, she's great. But yeah, Scarefest was. I'm definitely going again next year. I already told them, and they were so nice to me too. It was like they hope, they, hey, thanks for coming. I'm like, thank you for having me, and letting me
Yeah,
know.
super great people, great event. Like great, all of the events they had are going around it, over at Lex Live, all the shit happening over there. It was amazing.
Yeah, they
So much
put on
stuff
a.
going on. Really well coordinated show.
I'd never been to Kentucky, and I wasn't disappointed, except the hotel room. The first hotel room was a little disappointing, fighting cockroaches and stuff. So between the U-Haul and not
I
knowing
didn't
how
put
to
them
run a
there.
credit card. No, 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 no. No, it was just, yeah, it would have been a good horror movie beginning. Yeah.
I'm
I
sure.
mean, dude, the second room they put me in, there was a hole like that in the floor that you just saw them all scattered to. And it was bad. It was bad. But yeah. Yeah, Thomas, you didn't have to experience it. Thomas shared a room with me. We had he's lucky. He's like, he thought he was coming to that because I didn't remember till the morning because I didn't check into the next hotel until like 1:30 by the time I had a chance to. He was getting ready to go to the other place. I should have let him go in there and just gave him a key or whatever. And even booked him for 5 minutes
Yeah,
for him.
I know for me, like Mark was like calling and looking at all the reviews on every hotel around that area just to make sure that there wasn't like bugs and weird shit in the room. It took him a
Yeah,
while to get me a
it goes
hotel
from like
too.
$2,000 a night hotels
Yeah,
to $60 shitholes.
yeah, yeah. And it's there's nothing really in between. So you have to really, really look.
Well, the first room, I'm like, all right, I turned on the lights in the bathroom. They just scatter, and they were, they couldn't find a place to scatter, so they were like deer in headlights. And I didn't put my bags or anything on the bed. Once I saw that, I was like, thank
Yeah.
God. And I called them. I went, is there any way I could get a room without roaches and stuff?
Or do I have to pay extra for that?
Yeah, or So they switched me to a room, dude. It was even dirtier and filthier and more
Oh my
roaches.
God.
That's the one that had. It was like, really, really. So I had to get on the phone, and I forget which hotel booking.com I think I went through,
Uh-huh.
and the guy was great. The customer service, he's like, yeah, he's gonna leave and blah blah blah. They can't really do anything. They just reserve it, but they're like, we're not going to make you pay for the room. You said, so you pay for it. Why would I pay for the room? I can't live. You going to pay for the bed bug infestation? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure those were there.
no,
And
thank you.
those room with the cockroaches. Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
I know Jeremiah he was down the hall from me, and I think I got bit by something, but it wasn't like I didn't feel like I left with bed bug problems or anything, but he was worried about that.
Yeah, I get
Yeah, it was
paranoid
weird.
about it. I never dealt with bed bugs until I checked into one hotel in Missouri, and I didn't know what they were. And luckily, I caught it quick, and I got everything to the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
And then one place, one of the individuals moved in, and they brought in bed bugs, and I just got tore up in one night on. I could not believe it. So that got taken care of. So, and I never dealt with it all through my life, and I wasn't happy with it the first time, and then the second time, you're like, man, I hope it's not bed bugs. And sure enough, it was. You always know it's got those 3 bites, and it's yeah, yeah, bad. But yeah. Well, enough about bed bugs. Let's go back to horror. I'm getting scared. Although maybe a horror movie called Cockroaches and Bed Bugs would be a
You get
great one.
paranoid about fucking paranoid about
Attack of the
crawling into bed.
Hotel, Revenge of the Cockroaches.
Yeah.
You, no, let's see, no bugs, just a rash after a shower. Did you guys have water problems or something? Or I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's your buddy. I
Yeah,
think
it
due
could
to the
be.
laundry detergent. Yeah, that could be. That'll do it. Going through
Yeah,
some
I
of the
know. I was worried
comments.
about that. And then the last night we were there was some fucking dude like raging at like 2 a.m, yelling at his kid and fucking his wife, and like it sounded
Oh
like
boy.
it was gonna get really bad. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. I called the front desk. I'm like, can you guys call the cops or something? Because this is ridiculous. This guy's
The
gonna hurt
hotel.
somebody.
Yeah, that sucks. Man, you had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the cops come, or they just get them to shut the
I
fuck
don't
up.
know. I went out the next morning and asked about it because it did shut down pretty quickly after I called him. But like I don't know what they did. They didn't really tell me. I just came out the next morning. I was like, so what was all that shit about? She was like, oh, I heard about it. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
Yeah.
I'm sure she knew. We had
Yeah.
the
Just didn't want
hotel.
to say.
The second one was clean enough. I mean, it wasn't great. It was fine. It didn't have a microwave or a fridge, so I was a little bummed about that because it was tough to, if you didn't eat it all, it was going in the trash the next day. But yeah, the walls were like the rooms were like right on top of each other, and they must have used like the thinnest like sheetrock or something because you could hear somebody
It's fucking
sneeze in the
cardboard.
other room. It's
I
like, yeah,
know. I
don't
know.
fall into the wall. You might fall into the other room.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
kept
was
hearing
talking to
the other room's TV and shit. It's like, what the hell?
yeah, I was talking to Thomas, we weren't that loud. It wasn't like I was yelling and screaming. I was just talking to him, and it must have been like 9:30, and we hear this going, "Shut the fuck up!" I'm like, "Fuck you!" And I saw her going out. She was a guest, not a guest, but somebody we'd seen at Scarefest, and gave her that. Tell me to shut the fuck up.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's I know you've been tired, man. We got to catch up again soon. I know I'm exhausted. I got a lot to do this weekend, but I say
Yeah.
we get together and do a watch along, man.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We should
And
just peel a film out of one of those things and do it.
yeah, some obscure movie that you worked on, like you said, that what was it, a Japanese movie?
Tato Tyson.
Tato Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to check it out. Do some of the obscure ones.
Actually, I found out because Peter knew a lot about it. He's like a Japanese film nerd.
Okay.
But he was telling me that particular film was the largest budget movie that Toho Studios ever put out because it was done through Toho.
There you go. I worked on it. You can tell. I mean, put that on your credits. The biggest budget film.
We had fun
Yeah, I
with it,
worked
that's
on that
for
one.
sure. We did some really weird shit on it. I do have I'll send you some links to some video clips from it. It's pretty fucking weird.
I'm guessing it probably would be all right. It'd be fine to stream it. You know, I wonder if we could even watch along and put it on the screen while it was going. I can't imagine the copyright on it or anything. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we could try it. I like to live dangerously. Fuck it. See if YouTube shuts us down. He did the special effects, YouTube. Give us a break.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I had that kind of problem when I finished that Slipknot music video. I had posted it up on I think I want to say Instagram or something, and they flagged it. And they said you can argue it here because Warner Brothers has tagged it as their intellectual property. And I was like, I worked on the damn video. I want to post it. And then after like 2 days of them figuring out, oh yeah, this guy did work on it, so they released it. But it's just funny.
It's still a headache. It's still a headache when it goes.
I fucking listen to this. I the other day I made some silly post in a group that does nothing but silly posts. But I had this picture of a guy sitting on the back of his truck, and he has those truck nuts, underneath on the hitch.
Yep.
So it looks like his nuts are hanging out underneath.
Oh yeah. I've seen those.
And
those are great.
Flagged me for that. I'm like, dude, really? They're not his nuts.
It's Well, I got some great black lights. Mike did one with the Flissa Rose Sleepaway Camp, and he put on the black light, and it's got a surprise. But I don't want to show it in case, they say that's a no-no. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
It's art.
Yeah, I don't know if they would. That's all artwork. It's more than I don't know if it's like 7% difference or whatever the fucking copyright law is, something like that. It's an artist's interpretation, so I think it's good.
Yeah, I know people who've had their stuff. They've uploaded their own films, and it's like, oh, you can't play your own film or something.
Some of it's like their algorithms. Their algorithms will grab your shit and like lock you up until you dispute the shit out of it. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, well, that's how it is nowadays. Everything's silly. They want to. I don't know. It's great, the technology, because you're able to do what you need. All this kind of cool stuff. But in other ways, it's like, come on, really.
Yeah.
Really? This is a problem? I don't know. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Facebook has the worst bots. I don't know. Facebook's bad, don't get me wrong, but it's wonderful. We're streaming on Facebook. I love Facebook very much, and I love YouTube very much. Two of my favorite things in the world. Love you guys. No, you know what? I stay away from that. I've tried to do, not tried to do it, but as soon as I tried it, I'm out. It's Twitter. I don't know. Anybody can be on that platform.
Oh, I can't be on that platform.
I know Facebook gets a bad name in YouTube, but God, Twitter is the worst.
It is.
The absolute worst. I go on there and it's just like, oh my God, I'm out.
Yeah, I can barely, as it is, I can barely keep up with Instagram and Facebook. So
Yeah, I have
that's
the
hard
same
enough.
problem. I'm still trying to get into Instagram and get everything. I still don't know how to use that platform well. It's like Facebook and YouTube. I wish StreamYards, which I use for this, I could do Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube would be great, but you can't.
Yeah.
I have been thinking about doing some streams on Instagram to test out the platform, but I don't know. And you'd think that Instagram and Facebook, you'd be able to kind of cross over with it because it's owned by the same damn company.
You would think, but there's a lot of things you can't do on Instagram that you can do on Facebook, and
Vice
it's
versa.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't even know. I think I told you. Not sure if it was with you. I was at the other place, and I don't even have anything on the wall, and they copyrighted me for something. It's like, what the hell are you copyrighting? I wasn't where I was wearing a blank black shirt, and
Yeah.
there was nothing on the wall. And it's like, where'd you get a copyright out
Well,
of
let's
this? There was
you want to
little.
test that theory? Let's show some of my merch. See if we get flagged.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, let's show this merch off, guys. You
So
can.
yeah, I have some of it. Like there's this.
I like that.
See if anybody can guess what that is. Somebody, I'm sure somebody listening knows what this is. I mean, not other than a license plate.
So
there's that. I've got like coffee mugs. I think you saw them at Phantasm even, John.
I did.
It was these. I gave one of these to Shawnee.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, they're pretty nice
Very
quality
cool.
too. I'm pretty happy with them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's a society one. Let's see if I can get it closer to the camera.
That's one I still got to see. You said it was on Tubi, and I've been trying to get a chance to watch it, and I really, really want. And that's got the one with Brian Bremer, so I got to watch it for sure.
Brian's not a very nice guy in that.
Well, that's acting, because he really is a nice guy, man. I was like blown away.
Here's one you know. Oops. There we go.
Yeah, I know that movie a little bit. Yeah. I know you'd know it. Yeah,
and
that's a cool cup. I like that one.
This is a nightmare puzzle inside of it.
That's cool.
So I have little combos like I think it's the mug with the puzzles, like $20 or $25, something like that.
That's very cool, man.
These are the puzzles.
Oh, nice cover.
Yeah, you'll like this one too. This one's fun.
Bride of Reanimator. Yeah, that is a great one, man. I love that movie. I love the Reanimator.
And then here's my ode to Linnea. I also have a coffee mug of this one.
Very cool.
Night of the Demons. Instead of Angela, this is Angela's in the background on it, but it's Suzanne and Stooge that are kind of featured there.
Yeah, Hal Havens is another one is it Havens or Havens?
I don't know. I would say Havens.
Oh, yeah, that's what I say too. Yeah, he's been coming out to cons a lot lately too. I've been seeing, so it's good to see him out there. He's not a social media guy, but I know Beatrice speaks highly of him. I love Night of the Demons, so
yeah, Hal is a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Almost everybody involved in Night of the Demons was super cool. Alvin Alexis is just he's another stellar human being. I don't know, everybody. Amelia, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I met Amelia at Krypticon. Beatrice introduced me to Hal, so I've spoken to him on the phone. I got to reach back out to him again. Seemed like a great guy. Really, like he's another one who's like blown away by the conventions, getting back into it. And he's like not social media, nothing. I don't even think he's got a Facebook or an Instagram or anything.
Right.
But Peter found him, and I guess they're out, and he's been doing a lot of cons too. So that's great to hear. This character was fantastic. And what was the other movie was in that? Sorority Babes, I think it was. I think that's the name of the movie. But yeah, Night of the Demons, a great one. I know Mike's a big fan. We've done some. Do we have any Night of the Demons? I don't have anything hanging up. I got everything mixed around. I changed up the whole background for you tonight. I did the Nightmare. I even got the Spirit Halloween blanket there. Your favorite, Chest of Souls, and your book. Oh, the Howling book that you signed for me, first edition over there. And yeah, didn't get to see it there, but I went all Nightmare on Elm Street for you. Oh, we lost him. I think he lagged out. He looked interested though. Oh, the Chest of Souls. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people love those by Graven Image. Yeah, you can see it a lot better here. But yeah, give everybody a shout out there. And let's get that black light on while we're waiting for Nick if he gets back. There is obviously Beatrice is one, and then that's Nick and Mick back there. Nick Benson, who's on tonight, and Mick Strawn, you guys have seen, and then you see the face in between. Those are Killer with Mike, the Doomsday Demon, Freddy, and I forget the character's name from Stranger Things, but those are really cool. Mike's been killing it with those. Yeah, the Chest of Souls is awesome. Really, really cool. All of them are great. Lonnie's. The Arnold Schwarzenegger is signed by Robert Patrick. That thing's sweet. The Fright Night's awesome. Sam. Oh, there's the Return of the Living Dead. You got Ghostface. Return of the Living Dead. Well, we got the lamp. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, the lights went out on it. I had the lights on for the Return of the Living Dead canvas that Mike did. But yeah, these cutouts, we're going to be doing a lot more of them. So if you see something you like, once the store opens, some of these will be available in the store, and we're going to be doing a lot of the cutouts because I think they're super cool. Bring back that black light, and yeah. But I think Nick's probably gone. He I guess we'll cut it off anyway because I'm tired. I know he was getting tired too. But we will catch up with you until next time. Oh, tomorrow night, Brett Wagner we got coming on. I got Steve Merlo coming on next weekend. My buddy Kyle Rappaport's going to be scheduled soon. I know I got everything booked up. Tuesday, I have Will Colazzo talking about his new film. And I got a small cameo in it and probably have a few surprise cast members coming on. So we got a super busy week of some awesome stuff. And until next time, peace out, guys. I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.